quick. So I want to thank you guys because a bunch of you guys have kind of covered this. But I will say it can be frustrating and a little sad sometimes when you have non-media members, but they have some social media presence and they put something out that is not accurate, and then some national media don't read the transcript or don't watch the interview, and then they put something out there. Anybody that watched the entire interview or anybody read the whole transcript, I was actually complimenting the schools from a scheduling perspective. It's what we've been doing. Even in the question that was asked to me, that's what was said. So I know every fan base and different school is looking for a reason to get angry and get mad and get motivated or something, but that to me is disappointing when real media members grab a partial quote and use it out of context. That's frustrating and disappointing. So I'm not talking to this group because I think you guys all saw it the same way, and some of you guys have put out some articles about it, and I appreciate that. But that's disappointing. And to me, you can't control the person that just has their own little social media page or whatever, and they're doing it from their mom's basement. I can't really control that person. But it's disappointing when I think some respected national and other people put things out that are inaccurate and don't do the homework of actually watching the interview or reading the transcript. So that's it. Open up the questions.
Questions?
James, what's the culture in the locker room like right now, and how does it exemplify your 4 core values?
Well, the one thing I would say is I thought our Tuesday practice was as good of a Tuesday practice as we've had in a long time. I thought our Tuesday practice against West Virginia was really good, but then we didn't back it up with a Wednesday practice that was right. We're starting to kind of really figure out how to practice at a really high level on a consistent basis, and whether it's football or any other industry or sport, being really successful is about consistency, right? So that starts in the locker room. That starts with the leadership, whether it's the seniors, whether it's the captains, whether it's the leadership council, whether it's, their attitude. We talk about, the first core value, positive attitude, coming out with the right mindset and the right attitude from the beginning. Number 2, work ethic, coming out and being willing to work and do what's necessary. The competition has been excellent. Starting practice with the good on good stuff has been really good. And then sacrifice, that's been something I think that's been really apparent, is guys sacrificing during the week so that they can be successful academically and so that they can be successful on Saturdays. And then they got a chance to be a normal college student Saturday night, but that's it. Me and Frank Leonard drive home every night. It's like Tuesday night and we're downtown. We're like, what is going on? Frank Leonard always says, don't they have any homework? Like downtown is like popping, Our guys don't get to do that. They get Saturday night, which is really all they get. And I want them to enjoy themselves. I want them to have a normal college experience. So I think they're doing a really good job of that right now. We got to continue it.
Car rides with Frank seems like something I got to ask about. Is he still living?
Yeah, Frank's been living with me now going on 2 years. It's kind of what's crazy about this profession. He has not wanted to move his family. Their kids are in high school. One's just started college. So his last couple jobs, they've kind of left home base to be home base. Frank's like a part of our family. My daughters love him. My dogs like him better than me, I think. And he's been awesome. We drive to work every morning together. We drive home every night. He's usually really passionate about something, yelling me on the ride home about it. But he's been great. He's been a part of our family. He's done a great job, being a resource for our coaches and for the players.
James, with Johnny Dixon, his ability to play both inside and out that we saw really come up last year, how much has that allowed Manny to do, or what has that unlocked for the defense?
Yeah, I think in general, I think on defense, when you have depth and talent at corner and on the D-line, it really opens up a lot of opportunities for what you want to do defensively, because those positions either can dictate in a positive way what you can do to attack the offense, or they can limit you in trying to protect those positions. So we're fortunate. Again, we've talked about the corners a lot, and Terry and the job he's done. Also the fact that our corners can cover and tackle. They're physical and they're tough, which is not always the case. And that we have, depth and size and athleticism at the defensive line position. I think it allows Manny to do a lot of different things that not only Maddie wants to do, but the defensive staff wants to do. Allows you to be creative, because you can leave those guys on an island from time to time if you want, which allows you to get extra numbers into the box or cause issues from a pressure standpoint on the quarterback as well.
James, how have you seen Drew Shelton go from being the starting left tackle for the Final Five in the Rose Bowl to taking a step back and being the second teamer on both sides of the ball? Obviously not an easy thing for a lot of people to do. How has he kind of dealt with that dynamic?
Well, first of all, it's probably a little bit like kind of how you talk about it is different than how we talk about it, and hopefully how he sees himself. I hope he views himself as a starter and is preparing as a starter. Some guys have the ability, it comes easy to them to flip to either side of the ball. We've been getting Caden some guard work. Well, a lot of times we like guys, if they're right tackle, to stay right guard. He's actually comfortable at left guard. That's unusual. Different stance, different footwork. So I think at first, Shelton, that transition going from left side to right side was hard on him. But he's adjusted really well, and I think our coaches and his teammates have a lot of confidence in his ability to do it. He's approaching it the right way. He's gotten bigger and stronger. I think last year he was just over 300 pounds, and this year he's, more in the teens, 312, 313, somewhere around there. So he's doing a really nice job. And tackles are hard to find. When he was a tackle in the state of Pennsylvania that we were trying to keep home. There's not a whole lot of tackles in the state of Pennsylvania. When they're out there, we got to do everything in our power to keep them home. There's a tremendous opportunity at offensive tackle here at Penn State.
What was the motivation to get Caden some work at guard? I noticed that last week. I thought it was the first time I had personally seen that since his freshman year here, at least in our open looks. What's the motivation to do that here in year 5 with him?
Yeah, again, it's just flexibility. Obviously, when we lost Landon, that changed some things for us. I think Caden's a guy that has the feet and athleticism to play tackle, but he's also got the size and the power to play guard. He's 330 pounds or somewhere around there. So he just creates flexibility. That's good for us, and I think it's going to be good for him long term as well.
James, Mike Years had said something last week about Nick and Katron trusting their instincts. What does that mean for a running back? Is that something that's just inherent in them, that they see things, or is it something they develop? Can you talk about that?
I think for the most part, if you're a good one, you kind of have that. You either have that or you don't. And I think what Mike's talking about too is something that we have to be careful of as coaches is, sometimes, you can overcoach a running back. And I'm not saying we're doing that, but I think that's a little bit, what Mike's talking about is those guys, they have an uncanny way of kind of seeing and feeling things that the average human being can't. So allowing those guys to trust that, I think sometimes if you, as the offensive coordinator or running backs coach or the head coach, if you're kind of questioning a running back's decision, what you don't want is for him to second guess himself in the hole. Just do what comes natural to him. He's been doing it his whole life. And those guys have shown the ability to do that. So, playing fast, playing aggressive, having fun, trusting your instincts, and just going.
2 more.
James, we haven't seen them in live action since that open scrimmage in August, but what have the freshman running backs, London and Cam, done to this point on this fall? And again, we just haven't had those looks at them.
Yeah, we've been pleased with both of them. Really have, both mentally and physically. They both came in a little bit undersized. So being able to get Trey in here has been really valuable because you weren't dependent on an undersized true freshman back to be your third back. I think they both came in 170, 175, somewhere around there. Cam's up to, I think, around 192 right now. He's done really well. London has struggled to put some weight on. But in terms of football IQ, in terms of kind of their instincts and vision, they've shown that. Their ability to pass pro, they've shown that they'll be tough and stick their faces in there. The Sunday night scrimmages have been really good. So I think both of those guys, if they're willing to do the things off the field, specifically in the weight room and nutrition and things like that, I think they both have a chance to have bright futures. And I think there's some excitement about those two guys. A lot of these guys, hopefully you'll have the opportunity to see late in the year, because for a lot of these guys, we're saving at least 2, if not more, games for at the end of the season. So, we can basically play them, whenever's needed. That could be on special teams or offensive defense.
What was it about Trey that made you guys think that he'd be a good fit for what you guys wanted to do in the running back room?
Well, I think first of all, we've been fortunate with a lot of the guys that we've recruited out of the transfer portal. They're guys that we knew a ton about already. Guys like Chop, who it came down to us in Maryland, and he out of high school he decided he wanted to stay home. So when he became available, we knew him, we knew his family, we knew his high school coach, so it made it easy. And obviously, with Trey, similar deal. We knew about Trey and were tracking Trey for a long time. And when the opportunity came that he was available, and here you got a guy that's been productive in the Big Ten already, and he's from our state, and we know the type of kid he is, and we know the family. I think his mom went to Penn State, his grandfather went to Penn State. We know the high school program. We've just had a lot of success doing it that way. I'm not saying we won't go other places and to other schools where maybe we haven't had a previous relationship with the kid. But the guys that we've done that with, I think that's been really helpful for us and them. They kind of know what they're getting to.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.